Hello viewers, how have you been? This is Nation's Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. That hub that keeps you updated on issues pertaining to the political system and issues that have been bothering the Nigerian populace, especially politically and outside Nigeria. My name is Angelo, your anchor. How have we been all the while? Now, the truth is, there has been an issue trending for the past 24 to 48 hours about the statement made by President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinibu threatening chaos and anarchy on Nigerians if the judiciary or tribunal overturns his victory at the polls or disqualifies his administration and sacks him from office. This is a very bad statement to make to hear from a president that has just been elected few months ago. Now, the truth is, reactions have trailed this particular statement from the Labour Party, its presidential candidates, members of the Council of the Labour Party, and Peter Obi, and all that. So, having this, we have Barrister Ben Chuks-Nwosu, one of the counsels to Peter Obi and the Labour Party at the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal. He has described the anarchy claims credited to the President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinibu as shocking. According to sources, Ahmed Tinubu's lawyer at the Presidential Elections Tribunal, Wole Olanipetkun, senior advocate of Nigeria, also said the same thing. And he said, in an attempt to nullify Asiwaju's victory at the 2023 presidential elections on the grounds of 25% in the FCT, there will be chaos and anarchy. So two people have made these statements, and we are not finding it funny, especially those in Nigeria. They ain't finding this statement funny. For a president, sitting president, to threaten anarchy and chaos, there is more to this. So to throw more light on this particular issue, I have Ben Chuks-Nwosu on one of the most famous TV programs where he explained and expressed shock. He even made backup claims from the Constitution and its requirements. So watch Ben Chuks-Nwosu explain this. He revealed lots of secrets, because I am quite surprised that a president would say this to his people. Stay tuned. More details when I come back.
For somebody to be returned elected as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that candidate or contestant must, strict to sensu, score 25% of all votes cast in the FCT. It wasn't about Peter Obi, it wasn't about Tinibu, it wasn't about anybody. Other contestants have had to contend with that provision before this election of 2023. When I heard the words purportedly used, I say that, by Mr. President, that if the court of law, which is an arm of government independent of his own, there are three arms of government: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Remember that if there is a violent change of government, it is only the judiciary that remains. The executive will be tampered with, the legislature is abrogated, it is the judiciary. That is why it's called the last hope of the common man. It is therefore shocking beyond words for a president who swore a few weeks ago to protect and defend the contents of this constitution. We turn around and try to defame and scandalize and threaten the veritable institution of the judiciary. What he said is anathema. What he said is against natural justice, equity, and good conscience. What he said, in plain language, amounts to terrorizing their lordships. And Nigeria will not take it. We will not take it. Since those two words have been uttered, it behoves me to tell you exactly the Oxford Dictionary meaning of those words. Anarchy says that in a state of lawlessness or political disorder due to absence of governmental authority, anarchy. Then the word chaos, complete disorder and confusion.
All right, I've explained more on that issue, so I won't say much. Please, I see why you should stop making these statements, because if this statement had come from another presidential candidate, be it from the PDP, the Labour Party, the NNPP, the AA, and so on, there will be issues that will erupt from members of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, like Festus Keyamo, Bayo Nanoga, Femi Fani Kayode, and so on. They have now kept silent. We've not had anything from them because their principal has spoken. A president of the country that was brought on board a few months ago, and then he's making this threatening thunder and brimstone if he's being sacked from office. This is somebody who is the chairman of the ECOWAS, somebody who has been deemed fit to wield the seats of the chairman of the heading committee of an economic community of the West African states, a hub and a society that promotes peace. So how can we say this is worthy of note from Nigeria, one of the biggest economic countries in Africa? Well, that's sad enough. Sorry about that. Well, we hope this issue is addressed with due effect. So, in another development, on the recent issue of the resignation of the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Adamu, and his Secretary General, and more secrets have been laid bare, and we now have a clearer view of the reasons why Abdullahi Adamu resigned. Now, I would like you to hear this yourself, but I would love to say before this, Abdullahi Adamu is in no good terms with Bola Tinibu, and that may be the reason why he resigned. That is so sad. That means the APC is not even settled. Why is Nigeria having these issues right now? APC unsettled, PDP unsettled? Really? Okay, listen to this interview where we have Samna Sambo, an analyst with Arise News, where he explained everything that happened between Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinibu and Abdullahi Adamu, the resigned APC chairman.
Well, hanging in the air. Let's start from the last question you asked. It's certain right now that Abdullahi Adamu has a reason why he's insisting that he wants to see President Bola Tinubu before he speaks on it. Absolutely. And that's because the APC itself doesn't have this letter to present to us. And Yola Omishore, the National Secretary, who is said to have resigned, was at the APC National Secretariat today. And
he was shut out, according to reports.
Well, he entered the meeting, but he didn't stay that long.
Right.
So if he had sent in his letter of resignation, what was he doing at the APC National Secretariat? And why would he want to be part of an emergency National Working Committee meeting? And why would he now say that he was wondering why Abdullah Adamu, the national chairman, was not there? If both of them had submitted their resignation letters.
So the question, so many
questions. I mean, so many questions. And let's go back to the first one you also asked. The reality here is that Abdullah Adamu, yes, there are infractions that he may have committed one way or the other. But I had expected a response from him when Saliu Lukman, National Vice Chairman, had raised a critical point sometime last week to say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as candidate of the APC, never got 1 naira from the party to contribute to his presidential campaign.
Right.
So why didn't we have the National Secretary, Yola Omishore, or the National Chairman quickly pointing us to a direction as to whether the party officially contributed monies to the presidential campaign of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as it's supposed to be, or not? If they didn't, what happened to the funds? And why has there been this consistency from the National Vice Chairman, Salih Lukman, on these issues of transparency? And then the issues Abdullah Adamu will come on air to come and say also is that he has never heard of Saliu Lukman. I would totally disagree with him, because this same Saliu Lukman contributed to the exit of Adams Oshomole that gave room to the emergence of Memalabuni's caretaker committee that eventually birthed Abdullah Adamu. So why will Abdullah Adamu in an exclusive interview with Arise say he has never heard of this man other than the letters that he wrote? Yes, you have this party politics. Yes, there are issues that have arisen, but I have thought by myself, as someone who has watched Abdullah Adamu for over 50 years of playing politics in Nigeria, that he would have resigned, because he's always, you know, putting himself out as a very principled politician that can dare anyone. And go and find out from Obasanjo. Himself and Tinibu were governors between 1999 and 2007. And during National Economic Council meetings, I mean, both of them usually sit close together, because after L, you have N. L is for Lagos, and Tinibu was Lagos State Governor, and N is for Nasarawa and Abdullah Adamu. So they were always joking mates, and they were some of the persons who stood up to challenge Obasanjo's policies here and there. So these are not people that, I mean, fair weather politicians that you can push aside. But well, a lot of issues have happened, and the issues are real, that Tinibu doesn't really want to have an Abdullah Adamu in that position. But what of Iyola Omishere, who is you know, an associate of Tinibu? Well, you know that when something happens to one other person who happens to be a twin, there's a likelihood that it will also sweep the other.
I mean,
okay, I told you with time, lots of secrets will be laid bare. So the wind has blown now, and we've seen lots of secrets in the air. So Abdullahi Adamu has been priding himself as a principled politician. He never liked Tinibu, and that may be the reason why he resigned, maybe in order not to be embarrassed out of office. But there was a meeting this morning at the APC National Secretariat in Abuja, and his deputy was Senator Ishere was in attendance. So why is he there since he resigned? And he was saying he was expecting to see Abdullahi Adamu, who resigned together with him. There is something that they're not telling us. We will see to the root of this matter and bring it to your doorsteps. Trust Nation's very star. That is that on that particular update. Before I go further, let me urge our viewers, both old and new, please tap the subscribe button, tap the notification bell. Don't also forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section if you feel you have a suggestion for anything we do here. Then watch till the end and share these videos to everybody around you and people outside Nigeria, because they need to see this. When you do all this, YouTube makes us go viral, and we have to serve you better with that. Now, finally, Ogun State former Governor Otumba Daniels has spoken on his senatorial seat of Ogun East. Now, he has spoken that he left the gubernatorial seat sometime, and now he's now a senator. But he has not been accrued the rights and the monetary and capital rights that is being accrued to all governors. That is having furniture, having a whooping amount of pension paid into your account after you've left office of the governor, and so on, because he feels these things are not important. Good politician there. He feels that he doesn't have time for all these allocations. Rather, they should be used for the people of Ogun State. Very, very good advice from Otumba Daniels. So he has come to explain the reason why he has not been collecting all those pensions and everything that has been accrued to former governors of states, especially when there were issues on the reason why lawmakers should cut down their wages in order to serve the nation better. Nice one from Otumba Daniels. Let me let you hear from the horse's mouth on reasons why he opted for the senatorial wages alone and not the gubernatorial wages accrued to him. Stay tuned.
There's no motive. Excuse me. It's just as simple as I have become a senator, and I know that I'm, as it were, just switch it off, sorry. As it were, we are receiving remuneration, and I wasn't so sure if it is right because the Senate is a full-time employment, as it were, and I thought that I needed to check whether it was right. My mind tells me it's not right, because they're doing two jobs, or whichever we want to look at it. And so I just thought I should just notify the governor, to suspend the payment probably until after I finish at the Senate. It wasn't meant to be anything extraordinary at all, you know. And then the thing just, well, in fact, I have written letters since the 14th, you know, and then we got the acknowledgement copy, and I think it was during that period that the thing now went haywire a few days ago. There was no motive, you know. I think what shocked the people was maybe the amount, because people thought that, oh, governors are taking you know, a lot of money. I don't know of other locations, but that happens to be what we were taking. And there were also stories that most governors every year they receive furniture, they get new vehicles, and so on and so forth. We have not been that lucky in Ogun State, if you let me put it this way. And I said in the letter that since 2011 when I left, my car has not been changed. I've not received anything for furniture. I look after my medical. I'm just on my own, and that's all that comes. Simple as that. On the one hand, we install somebody as the president and commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic. And on one hand, that person who have a secret mandate that we have given a mandate to, we don't trust him to do right. So we think that when he's going like this, the legislation should go like that because they're independent. That is negative independence. If people belong to the same party, that president or who is holding the executive wants to build the legacy. The legacy he wants to build is to make his mark in a positive way, that the people of this country will be happy that once upon a time we had this president who did right for us. That is his state of mind. I do not see how the state of mind of the legislature should be different from that. The legislature is also there that, okay, I want to make a mark. I want to help my people. So the objective of the legislature and the objective to a large extent is coterminous.
Welcome back. You know, there were issues a few weeks ago that lots of governors are now in the Senate and in the National Assembly. So why will they be accrued lots of wages or lots of welfare wages in the sum of 70 billion naira as approved by Atiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinibu, the president? That was why he came out to say that. So lots of them maybe don't even agree to receive that pension that is accrued to governors over time. They are just depending on the senatorial bonuses and so on. But your bonuses and your salaries as a senator are much, way much. Over 5 million naira for you every month, aside sitting allowances and other issues. So you should make do with that. We shouldn't have any other senators coming on board. In fact, their salaries and wages should be reduced for the betterment of Nigerians. Please, we should not have issues of reduction of salaries from the masses. Please, the legislators should have their salaries reduced instead. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our time together. I would urge you to stay glued with more details when I come with my next update. See you next time. Bye.